Hi, Deb. Yeah.
Hi, how you doing?
Thanks for joining us.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, good.
Me too.
I see another person has joined.
Olivia.
Olivia.
I'm looking forward to this also.
So glad. Did you write them both? Deb is Rough. And then Olivia, what's your last name again?
Harvey
Harvey.
with
Yeah.
the H.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys are both members.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You look great with the hair down.
Oh, thank you. I just got it chopped off yesterday. Got about 3 inches. I had
Wow.
a hair emergency over the weekend and sent a text to my hairdresser, is my really good friend. And it was too much hair to manage. And next week, I'm actually going to be away Tuesday through the weekend for this annual trade show that I work at. And I just sent my friend Tracy, I'm like, hair emergency, you need to cut it off. I just can't deal with doing this much hair every day. So, so I went yesterday. Good. So yeah, feels good. Thanks for noticing. All right, I think my video should be spotlighted, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, great. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and all right, so Deb and Olivia, if you have a couple blocks at home, if you've got a blanket or a towel to use as support under your seat, those are all great props for this class to really to modify as you need to. So last week was our first time meeting with this class and explained it that a big difference that you'll see between Monday's class and this class is that we'll really kind of utilize the sun salutations as an opportunity to warm the body up and to prepare the body to learn poses that maybe push you a little bit harder balance wise or maybe extension wise than you have been experiencing in the Monday class. So we went over more in depth the sun salutations, the different sun salutations in last week's class. So instead of repeating that, I know, Nick, so Gail, you might have been the only one who, and then Deb and Olivia, but I think Deb, you've been doing yoga for a while. So yeah. So I'll just take them a little bit slower so that I can provide the cues. But as we progress with this class, the hope then is that if I say that we're going to do sun salutation A, that we've done it enough times where we're like, oh yeah, like I know the motion enough. Now you're still, I think it's just human nature. Hi, welcome. Human nature to still listen and kind of rely on the verbal cues as well, but that you'll start to understand the sun salutations enough where maybe at home you wake up and you're like, let me do a sun salutation A. It's a beautiful way to start your day, honoring the sun and all the energy that we get from the sun, all the blessings. But as we progress with this class, also looking to explore different types of arm balances, different types of inversions, and just moving, like I had mentioned, beyond the basics. So let's start in a seat. And with the blocks close to your mat so that at any point in the practice, you can reach for them to modify with them. My name's Nancy, by the way. Hi, Nancy. Marianne, great to have you with us. But let's just start by tuning into our breath and feeling grounded in our seat and just coming to be here in what is the present moment. Letting go of the past, so that could be from a second ago. Trying to let go of future thoughts, so what's waiting for you after class, and to just come to this present moment. So let's soften the eyes. Start to just let them drop, your gaze dropping down toward the floor, and maybe then encouraging the eye sockets to soften, and maybe allowing the eyes to close if that's comfortable for you. And start to notice your breath. Notice how it feels this morning, if it's smooth or a little jagged. And coming to your seat, your connection to the earth, and what that relationship implies for you. Asana is the Sanskrit word for seat. So as we move into our asana practice, the more physical practice, it can help strengthen our relationship with the earth and all beings. Yesterday, we invited in the mantra, the chant, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Whenever there is some unrest in our lives, in our world, we feel it. It impacts us. So how do we become more grounded while that unrest is happening? A mantra helps help calm the whirlings of the mind. So we'll chant this together. Call and repeat for the first round, and then we'll say it all together, followed by Om, universal sound of Om. So just follow along, or if you just want to hum or listen, that's fine. If no one's around at home, Deb and Olivia, say it loud, say it proud. Inhale and exhale the breath out. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. So all together. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. It translates to, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. Set an intention for your practice. Something that can help guide you anytime that you might feel any negative thoughts or thinking about that shopping list. If any random thoughts come in, sometimes it's good to then draw your attention back to your intention. Use it as a guiding light. Thank yourself for being here. flicker the eyes open. And let's start on the back for just a few warm-ups before we get into our sun salutation. So find where you're just stretching out long. Take the arms overhead, legs stretching out, point your toes, reach through your fingers, maybe even a yawn comes to you, and just really stretch it out here, and then draw the knees into your chest, rock from side to side, maybe hug the knees into your chest, bringing your forehead up to your knees for a breath. And just then settle into stillness on your back with your knees bent. Find a 90-degree angle with your knees, so your whole back is pressing against the mat. So you feel the low back, the middle back, the upper back. And then draw the knees up so your calves are parallel with the earth. And flex your feet. Draw your toes towards you. And bring your hands behind your thighs and start pressing your thighs into your hands as you try and pull the legs towards you. The goal is keeping the knees at 90 degrees, but you feel this pushing of the thighs into your hands and the pulling of the thighs towards you. And you're not going to win the battle. You're just finding a place where your psoas muscle releases. Breathe in and exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release the feet back down to the mat. Extend your left leg out long and draw your right knee into your chest. Interlace the fingers behind that thigh again, and then extend the right leg up to the sky. And point the toes, flex the feet, point the toes, flex the feet, roll that foot around a few times one direction, and then reverse the direction. And then point the toes again. Find that middle point. It's the Barbie toe, or I just heard an instructor call it a point. So you're flexing and pointing. So what that means is you drop your heel down and you push the ball of your foot up toward the sky and flex those toes. So imagine Barbie's foot and how it's in that permanent shape of the high heel. That's the point. A little different sensation for the stretch in the foot and the leg. One more breath in and exhale, draw that knee back into your chest. Make a few big circles with this right knee. So take it out to the side, draw it in, crossing the midline. A couple times one direction and then reverse the direction. So just saying hello to this right hip flexor. And then we'll stretch the right leg out onto the mat. Draw the left knee into the chest. So start by just hugging it in a little bit, feeling those sensations in that inner hip, and then interlace fingers behind and extend that left leg up to the sky. Roll the ankle around a few times one direction and then the other direction. And then point and flex, point and flex. And then find that Barbie toe, that floint on this side where your heel drops down. Flex the toes, drawing them back, but then pushing the ball of the foot up to the sky. Full breath in and out. Exhale, drawing that knee back into the chest, and then make a couple big circles with this right knee out to the left, drawing it in, and then reverse the circle after a couple times. All the while, so everything we're doing, noticing the sensations in our body. Hug both knees into your chest. Lift the forehead up to your knees, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Extend the legs back out long onto the mat, waking up the core a little bit. So flex your feet, lift your chin to your chest so you're looking right in between your feet. So legs are active by keeping those feet flexed. And now arms come alongside, palms face the legs. Start lifting your arms up to lift your upper body up a little bit. And now inhale, legs off the mat an inch. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. And just windshield wiper your feet from side to side. We'll do one more of those. So coming back to neutral, flex your feet. Lift your chin to your chest, arms alongside, helping to lift the chest up a little higher. And now lift your heels off the mat. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Rock the feet from side to side. Draw the heels toward your sits bones. Take your feet as wide as your mat. And then windshield wiper the legs down to the floor over the right. Inhale the knees through center, dropping them down to the left on your exhale. Inhale over to the right. Inhale through center and exhale, dropping them down to the left. And then back to center, heel toe your feet in a little closer. Draw your right knee into your chest and then make a figure 4. So cross that right ankle over the left thigh. Pressing the right hand on the inside of this right knee. Pressing it away from you. Again, waking up this right hip. Maybe taking this a step further, interlace the fingers behind the left thigh, lifting that left leg off the mat and finding a 90-degree angle with that left knee. Flex both feet. Still draw that right knee away from you. So you're trying to have that right shin parallel with the sky. And then if you want a little bit more, you can draw the legs toward your chest. Only an option. These are just options. So go to where your edge is. Still feel the whole back in contact with the earth. Remembering that connection with the earth as our life partner. And release that left foot back down. Release the right leg, and then we'll do the other side. Draw left knee in toward the chest, turn that knee out, rest the ankle on the thigh. Start by just pressing the left hand on the inside of that left knee, just to notice those sensations as we open and release that left outer hip flexor. Keeping the left foot flexed, now option to lift that right leg up. If you are lifting it, flex that right foot. See if you can get the calf to be parallel with the earth. And then explore. Explore with each breath. So as you draw the legs toward you, try not to round the low back, but keep that in contact with the earth and just drawing the legs toward your chest. Pull back in contact with the earth. Just like the song says, don't forget to breathe. One more breath in, and then exhale, release that right foot back down to the mat, left foot back, and take both hands under your knees as we begin to rock forward and back at least 3 times. So you feel that massage. And then we're gonna come up, plant your feet on the mat, knees hugging into the chest. Wrap the left arm around the knees, right hand comes behind. We breathe in the twist for 5 breaths. Using this right hand as a support more than, beautiful everyone, yeah, so that we're not leaning into that backhand, but just using it more like a kickstand. Lengthening the spine up on the inhale, twisting deeper on the exhale. Next inhale, come through center, wrap the right arm in front of the knees and take the left hand behind. And coming into the twist on this side, feel rooted in both sits bones. One more, inhale. And exhale. And then inhale, back to center. Start to find boat pose. So you're on your sits bones. Most important part is the lifting of the chest. Keep the spine long as you start to lean back. Not rounding, not dropping in, but lifting the chest. So when you get to the point where you feel the muscles in the belly really engaged, then maybe add lifting the legs. You can support underneath. So if you really press your fingers into the back of the knees, see how much higher you can get your chest to lift. And then breathe there. That might be your edge. The edge might be releasing the arms. The edge might be straightening the legs. Wherever you are, hold 5, 4, 3, beautiful, 2, 1, drop the legs down, plant them as wide as your mat, and then bring your hands in front, bring your chest through. Inhale into seated cow. Exhale, now round that spine, chin to chest. Feel that beautiful stretch for the whole spine. One more time, inhale, lengthening up. Exhale into seated cat. Nice work, everyone. Cross at your ankles, roll forward, finding tabletop. Knees under hips. So instead of the hands, instead of the wrists directly under the shoulders, have the wrists come in front of the shoulders a little bit. Spread your fingers. Draw the belly in. Inhale, we drop the belly, but not let go of the engagement. Lifting the tailbone, lift the heart. Exhale into cat pose. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. One more, inhale into cow. And this time, hold cat pose. Stay rounded as you press back to child's pose. Arms fully extended, come up on your fingertips. So the wrists and arms are off the mat. And then energetically draw the mat towards you. Feeling that opening across the upper back. Feel it? One more breath in and out. Inhale, rock back up to tabletop. Keeping the belly drawn in. Inhale into cow, and then I want you to tuck your toes under. Exhale into cat, and then grow out of cat pose into downward dog, straightening the legs, pushing the low belly toward the thighs. Beautiful, everyone. Don't worry about the heels. Reaching the earth, just focus more on equilibrium here. Focus more on finding a steady breath that where you feel your lungs and your rib cage filling up with prana. Feel like there's a string maybe on your sacrum kind of lifting you up so you don't feel that weight in your wrists or too heavy in the heels. Equilibrium. Look between your hands. Walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway to find a flat back. So when we find a flat back, we're engaging the navel, we're drawing it toward the spine. We're trying to take any rounding out of the back and feel a lengthening from tailbone out to the crown of your head. Beautiful, yeah. So the gaze is looking at the mat, so your neck is an extension of the spine. Feel rooted in your feet and float the arms out to the sides. Soften the knees a little bit, and then lift the upper body to stand to upright. Straighten the legs, float the arms overhead, draw them down to your heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose, and just take a moment here in mountain pose to rock forward and back so you really feel how the weight distributes toward the balls of the feet and then to your heels. Fan your toes out and then find stillness, root down. Feel that connection with the earth once more and the energy rising up the legs. Feel like to lengthen through the look back to take an arch out of the middle back. Make that little adjustment. Shoulders moving away from the ears. Chin parallel with the earth. Feel some broadening across the chest and heart space. And then moving into Surinamaskar A. So sun salutation A. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, as we dive forward, think about hinging from your hips to come into the fold with the spine long. Next inhale, lift up halfway. Then exhale, bend your knees and plant your hands and step the feet as far back as you can to find this plank pose. Full breath in and out in plank. Next, exhale, drop your knees down. We're going to lower knees, chest, chin. So hugging the elbows into the side body. Stick your sits bones up as you bring your chest and chin to the floor and then slide forward onto the belly. Separate the legs so that your sacrum feels in a neutral state. Keep hugging the elbows into your side body. Your next inhale, peel the heart up, finding cobra. Bhujangasana, lower down on the exhale, tuck your toes under, push yourself up to tabletop, finding cat pose, and then continue to grow the body into downward dog. 5 breaths here in downward dog. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Look between your hands and either walk the feet up or you can bend the knees and a light hop forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway, finding that flat back. And then exhale, hinge forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. To rise to stand, you can either roll up to standing by bending your knees and letting the head hang, or you can float the arms out to the sides. Lift with a flat back. Arms float overhead, and we close that sequence, that sun salutation, with hands at heart center. And then mountain pose Tadasana. Mountain pose being a reset in between the flow. It's an opportunity to check in with your breath, with your intention. Just feel the sensations, the effects. And then next inhale, circle the arms overhead. We dive forward again. This is our classic sun salutation involving a low lunge. Inhale, so if you want to modify with blocks, you can. Half lift and then bend the knees a little bit. Take the right leg all the way back, finding that low lunge. Take a breath in. Exhale it out. And then next inhale, take the left leg back to meet the right plank. Exhale, drop knees, chest and chin. Inhale, slide forward onto the belly. And inhale into cobra. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under. Push your seat to your heels and lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. Next, inhale, draw that right knee into your chest, rocking the body forward a little bit so you can step that right foot all the way forward, back into low lunge. Exhale the breath out. Next, inhale, push off that left foot to bring it forward to meet the right. Lift up halfway, finding a flat back on your inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhale, circling the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. We go right into the other side. Inhale, the arms overhead. And exhale, hinging forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees. Take the left leg back. Finding our low lunge, 4 breath, inhale. And exhale. And then inhale that right leg back, finding plank. And then lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, slide forward. So your hands end up by your lowest set of ribs. Elbows hugging in. Peel the heart up. Cobra. And exhale, lower down. Toes tuck under. Push your seat to your heels and lift into downward facing dog. Take a breath. Exhaling it out. And then next inhale, draw the left knee into your chest, rocking forward so that left foot steps forward, low lunge. If it doesn't make it all the way, use your hand to help it. Then next inhale, push off that right foot, bring it to meet the left. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Your choice to come to stand, roll up or lift with a flat back. Close the pose, the sequence, hands at heart center. Find Tadasana. Reset. Again, feeling your prana, your energy, any residue. That's what Sharon Gannon says. It's not necessarily the pose, but it's the residue that we feel from the asana. Tadasana practice. We've got one more sun salutation, Surinamaskar B. It starts off in chair pose. So next inhale, start to bend the knees, drop your seat down and float the arms up by the ears or to heart center. And then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step both feet back to plank. Lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, slide forward into cobra on your inhale. Exhale, tuck toes under, come into downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. And now inhale, right leg lifting to three-legged dog. We're going to draw that right knee into the chest. Step it forward, not as far as what we did before for low lunge. We're coming into warrior one. Drop that left heel down. When you feel steady in both feet, lift the upper body, arms float up by the ears. Warrior one, beautiful. Full breath in and out. We'll take two more breaths here. So, Gail, try dropping that heel down in the back to root down, yeah. Hips facing forward, and then next exhale, go ahead and lower the hands down and then step back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank, lowering knees, chest, chin. Inhale, sliding forward and then peeling the heart and chest up, cobra. Exhale, lower down, tuck toes under, push seat to heels, and then finding downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. Next, inhale, lift that left leg. Three-legged dog, draw that knee into the chest and step the left foot forward, dropping the right heel down, really rooting into those feet to be able to bring yourself up into warrior one. Soften shoulders. Two more breaths. So giving you the opportunity to make any micro adjustments to feel steady and sweet in this warrior pose. And next exhale is going to bring your arms down. Step the left leg back to downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, sliding forward onto the belly. Lifting up into cobra. Lowering down, tuck your toes under, seat to heels, and downward dog. 4, 5 breaths. We're our own self-study in our practice. Constantly taking a body scan, noticing our breath, and look between your hands, your choice whether to hop the feet forward or walk the feet. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale into forward fold, and we close the sun salutation as we began with chair. Start to let the sits bones drop toward the heels. Weight is in your heels. Inhale the arms up, finding chair. Next, inhale, straighten the legs. Reach up through the fingers. Hands to heart center. Tadasana. And again, using mountain pose as a reset. Take a full breath in and out. The sun salutations obviously warm the body up. Toning muscles, opening some spaces. So just notice how you feel. Maybe make soft fists with your hands and straighten the fingers. If you feel like you want to shake things out, you can. And then finding Tadasana. So adding on a little bit. Inhale the arms overhead and exhale. Dive forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, lifting up halfway. And then exhale, we're going to bring the right leg back to low lunge. So modify with blocks if you want to. Having them on either side of the left foot. Never question using blocks to help you in these poses. So from low lunge, I want you to drop the right heel down. And notice, look back and notice that both heels are in a line here. Start to sweep the right arm, circling it out in front of you, and then overhead so it lifts you up into warrior two. Breathe in and breathe out. So little micro adjustments in warrior two. If you put a little weight into the outer edge of the back foot, you might take some heat out of that left thigh. With our arms, we want to feel that they're just extending out from the shoulders. You can always take an opportunity to look behind you and check in with that back arm. You can also flip your hands to face the ceiling. Notice the sensations in your shoulders when you do that. And now only rotate the hands, the wrists, to face the floor. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, rebend it, dropping that left elbow and forearm to the top of the left thigh, and bring that right arm closer to the ear. Notice the line that we're making from our back foot through our fingertips of the right hand. Feel that right side of your chest peeling open. One more full breath in and out, and then inhale back to warrior two. Straighten that left leg. Drop the right hand down, flip the left palm, and reach up with that left arm, really opening this whole left side. So straightening that right leg and just noticing how long. So Julia, straighten that right leg. Oh, left leg, sorry, left leg. I was backwards. So left leg. And now with that left, bring the arms to a T. Shift the right hip, reach forward with the left fingertips, and bring that left arm to the inside of the left leg. Reach the right arm straight up, finding triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. You can also use a block under that left hand. And then inhale, lift back up, bend the left knee, warrior two. Spiral the hands back down to the floor, pivot that back foot, step the left leg back, downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. And then rock forward, find plank. Drop your knees down. Instead of knees, chest, chin, drop the whole upper body at the same time. So watch up front for a moment. I'm rotating elbow creases to face the front of the room so that when I bend my elbows, they're hugging into the side body. Notice from my thighs out to the crown of my head is all in the same line as I lower down. And then inhale, lifting up to cobra. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under, push seat to heels and lift into downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. Inhale the right leg, lifting it to three-legged dog. Draw that right knee into the chest, step it forward, low lunge on the other side. Drop the left heel down. Really try and find a 90-degree angle in this right knee. So the knee and the ankle are in line. And look down, notice the heels are in line. You can use blocks to modify. Remember, turning left toes in a little bit. And then start to spiral that left arm out in front of you and then up overhead, bringing you up into warrior two. Check in with your back arm and then turn your gaze to look out over your right fingertips. Beautiful. Flip your palms up to the sky and then just rotate your wrists at your wrists. So what happens there, hopefully you feel a little bit more space in the shoulders. We're externally rotating when we do that, it creates an external rotation for the shoulders. And then inhale, straighten that right leg. Rebend it, drop the elbow and forearm to the thigh. Take that left arm near the ear. Try not to let the left chest collapse down toward the floor, but really keeping it open. Notice how your breath feels here. And if you ever have to come out of a pose for a breath and then come back in, that is fine. Inhale back to warrior two, and then straighten that right leg. Drop the left hand down, flip the right palm up, and then reach that arm up. So we want to explore the length that we feel right here. So we want to maintain that length, that openness when we move in a triangle. To really feel that lengthening up the right leg as you breathe into the rib cage, and now come to making a T with your arms. Shift your left hip a little bit as you reach the right fingertips to the mirrors, then drop that hand to the inside of the right calf. Left arm reaches straight up. So have your palm saying hello to the TV. And then also, it might feel good to take the back of your right hand and press it into the leg and notice if that gives you any more opening in triangle. And then inhale, lift up, bend the right knee, find warrior two again, spiral the hands down as you pivot that back foot and step the right leg back. Downward dog, full breath in and out. Next, inhale, rock forward to plank, lower knees, and we'll do that same thing we did before. So rotate elbow creases to the front of the room, and then lower, so the thighs, the hips, the upper body, all coming down to the mat at one time. Hug the elbows into your side body. Untuck your toes and then take your arms on the mat. So reach the arms back, drop the forehead to the mat. So I want you to find where your legs help the low back to feel mat neutral. So coming up into our back bend, Shalabhasana, Oftentimes it might be taught to squeeze the legs together. I just learned recently in an anatomy class that you want the sacrum to feel neutral. So separate the legs until you feel where your sacrum feels neutral and stay there. Inhale, start to lift the arms up, drawing shoulders away from the ears, peeling the chest off the mat, just like in Cobra. And now lift the legs up. So instead of any compression in the back, feel an extension. Beautiful. Gaze is looking down, so the neck is an extension of the spine. Next, inhale, see if you can lift the legs up, maybe just a little bit higher, maybe one more set of ribs, and then lower down and turn a cheek to the mat. Just take a full breath in and out in stillness before we do a second one. So I offer to you for the second one that the arms, you can do exactly the same, or if you want to maybe have a little bit of a deeper chest opening, maybe interlace the fingers behind the back. If you do that, interlace the fingers and then draw the fingers toward your feet so that your shoulders move away from your ears. And then on an inhale, start peeling the chest off the mat. Lift the legs up. You're doing the arms like we did before, just start floating the arms up. And then let the chest follow, and then the legs lift up. And your pelvis and hip points are what's rooting you down. Full breath in and out. And then exhale to lower. Turn the opposite cheek to the mat. And rest. We're going to do one more. So I'll instruct both pose, Dhanurasana. If you want to do Shalabhasana again, you can. If you want to look up here for a moment. So we'll, for full bow pose, Dhanurasana, you bend at the knees, you flex the feet, and you reach back and wrap your fingers around the ankles, the creases of the ankles. And as we lift, my legs are still apart to find that neutral sacrum position. I draw the shoulders away from the ears, the shoulder blades toward each other in the back. And then on an inhale, I'm going to press my ankles into my feet to lift me up. Even if you just do it for one breath and then go to Shalabhasana after. So Marianne, try and flex your feet. Gail, try, yeah. And then lift your feet up toward the sky. Yeah, beautiful. One more breath in. And then slowly lower. Don't let your feet spring down. And lower down. And then rock from side to side. If you want to bend the knees and sway the legs from side to side, or if you just want to rock the whole body, and just feel that release in your hips. Beautiful, nice work, everyone. And then release and slowly roll onto your backs. Head can stay right where it is. And just roll onto your backs and hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side here, releasing that low back. And then we're going to come into a spinal twist to help release that. So I want you to drop your feet to the mat. Just like you would set up for bridge. Drop your feet to the mat. Have your heels close enough in toward your sits bones. And then I want you to press into your feet and lift your hips an inch off the mat, just an inch, and shift your hips over to the right. And now lower your sacrum back down. Hug your knees into your chest. So they should be on a bit of a slant. They should be kind of slanting with the knees over toward the left. Or Gail, did you shift the other way? And then lower the legs, the knees down to the left. So the idea is that you're kind of shifting the hips over to the right a little bit, but then dropping the knees down the opposite way. So if you did the opposite, then if you lift your chin toward your chest, with that little adjustment, you should see your hip bone in line with your knees. So. Arms can be out of a T. Gaze either looking up at the ceiling or out over the arm that's opposite from where your knees are. So for some, it might be looking out over the right arm, for some, the left. Just settle in here. We've got another 5 breaths. Maybe even add a count to the breath. Inhale to the count of 4, your own count, and exhale to 4. We'll start our cooling down, slowing of the heart rate. Take your last round of breath. Next, inhale, lifting the knees to center, drop the feet to the mat and neutralize your spine. So now, for some, you're going to shift your hips in the opposite way. So lift your hips an inch, shift them to the opposite of what you did on the other side. Draw the knees into your chest and then rock them down to either the right or left. Beautiful. Beautiful. Arms coming out to a T. Find maybe where the palms turn up to help the shoulders externally rotate toward the earth. So start to feel nourished by the breath here. Using that count again to help find an even breath, the samavriti breath, where your inhale matches your exhale, starting to really feel an integration of mind, body, and spirit. The residue from our asana practice. Releasing any tightness or weakness that you felt through the poses. Starting to let the body feel supported by the earth here. Inhale the knees to center, feet drop to the mat, adjust the spine back to neutral, and then hug the knees into your chest. We're going to find our Vipariti Karani as our inversion today. So extend your legs up to the sky. If you prefer to support your sacrum with a block, you're welcome to drop back down and then slide a block under the sacrum and then bring your legs back up. You'll have to bring your feet to the mat to slide that block under. And release your arms down to the floor. Maybe a little bit away from your body at 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock. With each breath, really begin to feel the weight dropping into your pelvis area. Reversing direction of our circulation helps us to maybe just shift the paradigm. Allowing anything that's stored in your tissues to release. Inviting in more peace and calmness, joy and ease. Less disconnection, stress, worry, and fear when we bring ourselves into the present, releasing past and future thoughts and being present. We help the nervous system to recalibrate, start drawing the knees back toward the chest, and then either finding constructive rest for your Shavasana or extending the legs out long for corpse pose. So constructive rest is where your feet are on the mat, your knees are bent, and your feet are coming out to the edges of your mat. For some, this might be more comfortable, more accessible for the back to settle. But if for corpse pose, finding the pose that works for you. Any holding of yourself up. Taking a final body scan. Softening the eye sockets, the jaw. Letting the tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. Allowing the tongue to be just resting. Soften shoulders. The muscles from the shoulders toward the heart center. Invite a softness into the belly. Allow weight to move from your hip points down to your sits bones, pelvis, and so as to let go of any resting, of any clenching or holding. Feel as though your arms are supported by the earth, that even if you wanted to lift your arms, you would. Releasing any hold in the thighs, knees, toes. to deepen the breath. Invite in small movements, wiggling the fingers, the toes, maybe opening and closing the hands, circling the wrists and ankles. Inhale the arms overhead. And then exhale the knees into the chest, rolling onto your right side. Taking a couple breaths here on your right side to come back to a more awakened state, body and mind. When you're ready to come up to a seat, pressing into that left hand, pushing off that right arm to help bring you up, and finding the legs crossing, the eyes still closed or softened. Bring your hands to your heart center, a soft bow of the head toward your heart. Thank yourself for being here, for exploring more of this practice, finding new ways to connect with your breath, with your intention, with your asana, your connection with the earth and other beings. So closing as we began with Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavatu. So instead of call and repeat, we'll just go right into it and then finish with Om and then 3 Shantis, which translate to peace. So take an inhale. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti. The light in me sees and honors the light. To be namaste. How do you feel? Good. Y'all did beautifully. Deb, Olivia, thank you so much for joining us as always.
Thank you.
Any questions? Let me know. I didn't move into the chaturanga, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But that knees, chest, chin. So you have to think about when we lower to knees, chest, chin, we lower this way as well. Getting ourselves to have the strength for chaturanga, you have to realize that you're supporting really like more than half of your own body weight. So chaturanga is not easy to do. It's like basically doing weight press, right? Like, and I don't want to have to lead you down a road of causing any injury to shoulders, or because it's a lot of weight to support to drop into chaturanga and to do it correctly. So we'll get there. If you're already practicing it, but you have questions about it, don't hesitate to ask me. But that will be definitely, a pose that we get to.
I'll be traveling to Florida, so I won't do the Monday. And I know you said Tuesday you're leaving, or what did you say?
So next week, this class is actually canceled, and then I'll be back the following week. I'm here next Monday, and I'm gonna have Sue sub next Wednesday's yoga and meditation, but she wasn't available to sub this class. So next week, no Tuesday class, but Monday and Wednesday, and then I'm back the following week.
Yes. All right. I'll be traveling, so I won't be around Monday.
Oh, okay. So I'll see
Traveling
you
back to Florida. All right. Bye-bye.
tomorrow for yoga and meditation.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So yeah, tomorrow yoga and meditations at 1.